What does it take to lose paradise? How can a land gifted with the choicest of nature's wonders be so carelessly despoiled? The Philippine environment is at a critical point. Only 18% of the country has forest cover. Less than 5% of the coral reefs are in excellent condition. Almost 90% of all wastewater is not treated. Of the 10 million metric tons of solid waste disposed of each year, less than 40% is collected. The rest clogs rivers and streets. Coupled with an inefficient energy sector, environmental degradation erodes the competitiveness of the Philippine economy. It is a major threat to the productivity of natural resources, public health, environmental safety, and the overall quality of life of the Filipino people. In the World Bank's Environment Monitor in 2002, health costs due to air pollution in 4 major cities was estimated at $400 million, while last year's edition of the Monitor reported that 30% of illnesses recorded in 2002 were waterborne diseases. Weak governance is largely to blame for the continuing deterioration of the environment and its resources. Most decisions in allocation, management, and use were not based on the principles of transparency, accountability, and stakeholders' participation. This has resulted in corruption, social injustice, and imbalance in economic growth, and marginalized the poor and minority populations, the ones most dependent on natural resources for their livelihood and vulnerable to environmental disasters. Clearly, better decisions and actions are needed for the effective governance of the environment, natural resources, and energy resources. Part of the U.S. and Philippine bilateral cooperation, the United States Agency for International Development and the National Economic Development Authority have agreed for USAID to provide assistance to achieve the country's broad objective of strengthening the management of productive and life-sustaining natural resources. The assistance supports effective interventions in fostering partnerships between USAID, the Department of Environment and Natural Resources, Department of the Interior and Local Government, and other national and local stakeholders. Assistance is designed to achieve results in 3 key areas. In environmental governance, USAID helps national and local governments and communities improve the management of their natural resources. While in urban environmental management, USAID helps LGUs manage air pollution, wastewater, and solid waste. USAID also supports efforts to make the power industry rely more on efficient fuels and renewable energy. Under the Environmental Governance Program, critical threats to the country's coastal resources and forests are addressed. These are primarily overfishing, destructive fishing practices, illegal logging, and conversion of natural forests. Specific projects are tasked to deliver these objectives. The Environmental Justice Project provides legal assistance and training to communities and LGUs in order to resolve disputes over access, use, and management of natural resources. The Partnership for Biodiversity Conservation Project supports national and local government units in enforcing environmental laws. The Sustainable Cocoa Extension Services for Smallholders Alliance for East Asia region helps upland dwellers engage in agroforestry for their livelihood and lessen pressure on natural forests. The Coastal Resources and Fisheries Conservation Project is focused on conserving the marine biodiversity and resources in the Sulu-Sulawesi marine ecosystem. The Transforming the Marine Aquarium Trade project addresses sustainability of the marine aquarium trade through certification for marine ornamental collectors and collection areas. The Fisheries for Sustainable Harvest project helps conserve biodiversity in economically important marine ecosystems. USAID's Urban Environment Management Program focuses on assisting the Philippine government to improve air and water quality and waste management. Assistance is carried out through the following projects. The Sustainable Coastal Tourism in Asia-Philippines project works to reduce the damage from tourism to sensitive coastal ecosystems. The Local Initiatives for Affordable Wastewater Treatment project promotes novel and low-cost wastewater treatment facilities to reduce water pollution. The Energy and Clean Air project is working on increased compliance with emission standards and the use of cleaner vehicle fuels. The Infinite Progression Corporation pushes preventive maintenance to reduce vehicle emission. The Alliance for Mindanao Off-Grid Renewable Energy project provides electricity from clean and renewable energy sources to remote villages in Mindanao. The Clean Cities program supports the development of clean and renewable energy supply for the transport sector. Program activities are national in scope with focus on Mindanao. While it has the potential to be truly productive, Mindanao trails the rest of the country in most areas of development. Substantial program resources are earmarked for local stakeholders and communities in Mindanao to improve management of their natural resources and to introduce renewable energy-powered electricity. Phase 2 of the Environmental Governance or EcoGov project is the major initiative under USAID's environmental programs. It addresses the degradation of the environment and natural resources at the local level. In partnership with DENR, BFAR, and provincial governments, it assists local chief executives, local leaders, and community organizations make transparent, accountable, and responsible decisions that will reduce illegal logging and forest conversions, destructive fishing and overfishing, and improve the management of solid and water wastes. The EcoGov project, now in its Phase 2 of operations, will continue to partner with DENR, DILG, BFAR, and leagues in assisting local government units adopt sound governance practices and integrate resource management efforts at the local level. Support decentralization and collaborative efforts of environment and natural resource functions. And work with grassroots organizations and local leaders to effectively contain illegal fishing and logging and forest land conversion. The project will assist at least 100 local government units in Northern Luzon, Central Visayas, and Mindanao to improve governance of their forests, coastal areas, and solid and water waste. Help LGUs enforce accountability for the management of coastal and fishery resources. Help operate individual and networks of marine sanctuaries so that depleted fish populations can regenerate on a wider scale. And bantay dagat operations to minimize destructive fishing practices. Assist LGUs that share common coastal areas address interlocking and boundary concerns. For instance, 4 LGUs in Baler Bay in Luzon are now implementing an inter-LGU fisheries management plan. 9 LGUs in Zamboanga del Sur have committed to jointly protect their coastal waters in Iliana Bay. Assist local governments to develop and implement forest land use plans where local communities can obtain legal rights to use the forests. They, in turn, protect the forests from illegal loggers and forest fires, as shown by the municipality of Wao in Lanao del Sur. Assist urbanizing LGUs shift emphasis from the traditional collection and dumping of solid waste to public-private partnerships that intercept up to 80% of the waste, which is biodegradable and recyclable. Facilitate inter-LGU collaboration to establish common disposal that deals with residual waste and are sustained by user fees. Assist LGUs develop wastewater pollution management programs through improved housekeeping strategies. In the next 5 years, EcoGov aims to have 80 LGUs with improved environmental good governance index based on the benchmarks, 250,000 hectares of forest cover, 106,000 hectares of coastal areas, and 50 marine sanctuaries under improved management, 20 new marine protected areas established, and all partner LGUs investing in improving the management of their solid and water wastes.
Dito tayo naliligo, dito tayo nagpapakuha ng ating mga kalabaw, ating mga hayop, kaya dapat lang proteksyonan natin ang ating kagubatan.
Nabuo namin kasama yung EcoGov, hindi lang isa o dalawa ang nagplano. It was done through the concerted efforts of different individuals who are members of the Solid Waste Management Board.
Yung community enthusiastic sila dahil first time na nangyari na mayroong plano na sila mismo gumagawa.
LUP ay parang kasagutan sa mga pangarap namin na noon ay parang pangarap lang.
There is much to look forward to where people have seized the opportunity to control their lives. Empowered by partnerships with government agencies and private support groups, they are showing that environmental destruction can be stopped. With sustained effort, communities can be healthy again, and there will be enough resources from the land and the sea for everyone.